Okay, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you've watched this, welcome. I just do these every week. I don't edit, I just keep on keeping on. The idea originally was just to practice speaking in front of a camera. Don't really like it, don't really like presentations, blah, 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 blah. But actually, I kind of got into the spirit of this, so I don't actually mind it. But if this is really about personal development, which is also about side hustles, because I'm kind of into both of those spaces. So last time I mentioned I've got this goal for putting together a Christmas fund. So Christmas fund based on me trying to generate money through different ways, through surveys, through all these interesting enterprises that I'm looking at. Well, it's been quiet in the last week, let's be honest. The surveys, I haven't got any more surveys signed up for. And when I say surveys, I'm talking about, as I said last week actually, I don't want to be doing $1, $2, $5 ones. I did a focus group that was $75 a few weeks ago, and that's really how I want to be able to spend my time, doing it with a constructive mindset in terms of having a certain minimum level, minimum standards. And this kind of goes into something else I've been thinking about this week, which is raising my standards. I have this habit of not letting go of things. So not decluttering, basically. I've got this pair of shoes that I wear for work. I've had the shoes for 7 years. I haven't worn them to work for 7 years. Had the shoes for 7 years. They're formal shoes. They were my kind of backup shoes to my work shoes. My work shoes fell apart however many years ago. Then I started using my formal shoes for work. Now, the different things have changed to help extend the life, if you will, of these shoes. COVID happened, so worked from home a lot more. These days I work in the office 4 days a week, but Fridays is a dress down day, Thursdays is work from home. So I only need them for 3 days a week. But they've been falling apart slowly but surely. I was going to bring them here to show to the camera, but the reality is I need to put them aside. I need to throw them away because they're not really that repairable. You know, if you don't look at the bottom of my feet or bottom of my shoes, you won't know they're falling apart. But it shouldn't be like that. I should be better than this. I mean, I really am better than this. Let's be honest. I actually bought a new pair of shoes 2.5 months ago when we were on holiday in the UK. I live in Asia, in the UK. Better size shoes for me. You don't get Primark out here. The fact that I'm buying Primark shoes, again, I'm better than that, but I should be a snob. The reality is, everyone needs to know their standards that they want to live by, and everyone needs to know what they want to represent in terms of the lifestyle, how they want to express themselves. Now, this isn't about kind of showing off or developing an ego. It's just having a standard to live by, and everything else is meant to be caught up in that. So I remember many years ago, a few of my friends, two in particular, one guy I worked with and another guy who's a friend of mine, who always had top quality, would turn out very, very well in terms of good shoes, good at work, good quality cut of suit. And maybe it's a bit much when you weren't really earning much money, but it shows their mindset, how they wanted to approach life, or professional life in particular. And I think a lot of the times I've kind of just bluffed things. Had these shoes for 7 years, should have been thrown away probably 7 months ago, but I've just kind of left it. What I want to do is more broadly in life have a minimum standard, and that will enable me to, I guess, live a better quality life. This is really just going left field again, because this is going back to those surveys. I don't want to be doing $1, $2 surveys when I know that my time is better spent. Yes, I can do some of these while I'm doing watching Netflix, but the reality is I've got to start to think in a bigger way of living than just doing $1 and $2 surveys. There's nothing wrong with doing these surveys generally, but given that I have a job, I'm not skint. I do have a level of money. If I want to go to the next level, I'm not going to get to the next level going for $1 and $2 jobs. So that's it. I'm not going to keep talking about that anyway. So back to what I was saying. My goals in terms of building different income streams, it's been quite quiet. I mentioned the other day I'm writing a book. I'll tell you more about that book soon. But I have actually sorted out the book cover. AI, brilliant, all sorts of stuff. I actually discovered, it sounds a bit stupid, but actually Copilot. And I know Copilot's there, and I know it's on Microsoft, but I didn't even think about it. I've been faffing around with different other sites. So I've been trying out different designs on different text to image AI generators. And yeah, Copilot's pretty good at doing different types of stuff. So anyway, the book has a design on the cover. The t-shirts that I'm looking to do, again, I started doing designs, but I realized I haven't done any t-shirt designs for probably about 4 years, I don't know. And even then it was very sporadic. I'd forgotten the process of trying to upload the design onto Amazon merch. And I tried yesterday, and it said, no, you're not doing it right. You're not using the right type of file. You've got to find a way of doing it. So my development and my learning will continue in order to make sure that I can start getting these t-shirts out. Again, the goal is to target Christmas, maybe even target before, the beginning of the holiday season and all sorts. I don't know. That's part of my plan. So I guess over the last week, the momentum is building, because that's really what this is about. You go onto YouTube and there's all these people that have succeeded in this, and success, great, goals being hit. Life isn't really like that. Life sometimes is glacial in terms of being able to hit goals. You'll go days and weeks and months, and suddenly, aha, I've achieved what I set out to do. So the boring, putting in the reps, doing the day-to-day work isn't often exciting, but that's okay. As long as I'm moving forward, that's really my goal. There have been times that I have started, didn't get the dopamine hit, didn't have the excitement, so stopped. So it's this kind of end of story. And, I go back to, I look back on some of those things and think, oh, if I had continued, I would be far further ahead. But, at the end of the day, as long as I can mentally tell myself it's a marathon, not a sprint, it's the journey, it's step in front of the next step, progress can take time, then I can make some advances. And that's really what this is about. It's about moving forward slowly but surely in a way that takes me to where I need to go. Sometimes, you could get overnight successes and, ring the bell and whoopie-doo, you've achieved something. But real life, most things are going to take time. Most things that are of any value and are bigger will take time. And that's really what I want to do. build stuff over time, tweak, iterate, change, upgrade, boom, work in the right direction. I'm just looking at what I wrote down as what I was going to talk about. Blah, blah. Yes, so we are now in another month, or another quarter. October we're in now, and every quarter I try to monitor my progress. So I have an A4 or a Word document on my computer that basically has my successes. Does that actually have failures? Maybe I should incorporate failures. Anyway, what I've achieved in certain areas of my life over the quarter. And I split that out into different areas: physical, intellectual, which is kind of mental, intellectual, mental, spiritual, emotional, financial, business, career, which I kind of group together. Now, the last review for the last quarter, my most successful, if you want to put it that way, grouping was around finance, career, and business, which I grouped together because I wanted to be more intentional on the spiritual, on the emotional, etc. As it turned out, having split out the emotional and the spiritual, I didn't really make much advance in that space. And when I talk about spiritual and emotional, it's not necessarily saying, for example, I need to go to church. I better say more at all. It's to have some practices that are more spiritual. So perhaps reading a spiritual book, a religious book, whatever that might look like. Do some healing work, self-healing work, study chakras, anything like that. And I am into the idea of developing these non-material parts of my existence. But the last quarter wasn't that great on that front, on the non-material. What was, I guess, better was the material bits. I had a few successes at work. I have this new focus for the side hustles, which I've talked about, which I've recorded in this Word document. I have done this focus group. These are tick, 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 great. But my goal is always about the holistic evolution of myself. And I've kind of got the idea for this segmentation approach to life originally through Tony Robbins and his personal development programs, which I went on many years ago. And I am going to, for example, start listening or watching Tony Robbins videos again. I haven't watched anything of his for 8, 10, goodness, who knows how many years. But that would be tick to spiritual, if you will, I don't know, emotional parts of my life. Yes, all I'm really saying is none of us should be too heavily weighted in the successes on the material side. For proper advancement in life, you kind of need to get the balance. You need to make sure that your emotional well-being is catered for. Your relationship element is catered for. That was an okay quarter for me. Your spiritual, however you define spiritual, whether it is a god, whether it is a connection with nature. And again, I didn't get out in nature as much as I would like to have. Those kind of things. So something bigger than yourself. And I will be talking in coming weeks about my twice a year detox. Originally, it was about what I eat, what I ingest. So no milk, no dairy, no caffeine, no what did I say? No milk, no meat. Yeah, certain foods are stripped out, but also the idea is to augment and raise up those spiritual practices. So go to meditation lessons, sessions, which I did previously in a previous detox. So yeah, so the idea is to have this period where I am more holistically connected with myself, and that will start very, very soon, and I'll talk about it at another time. But for now, my first thing is to start raising my standards by getting rid of those shoes, by being more engaged with what I need, by moving forward in a practical and progressive manner. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one who will dictate success or failure, or determine what is success or failure. And yeah, I feel I'm moving forward, side hustles included, but ultimately it has to be a bigger picture approach. Okay, I think I've waffled on a lot today about stuff. I hopefully will have some interesting dynamics over the next few weeks. So for now, bye bye.